Yep, this topic isn't overdue at all. Hello, welcome to The Wild Review. I'm The Wild Reviewer, and today I'm going to review a thing. If you've been with me for a while, you'll kind of know my overall opinion on Nickelodeon. The way that it's run and the way that its content has been. I know for a fact I'm not the only one that feels this way when I say that Nickelodeon is not like what it used to be. The shows were funny, creative, and imaginative. The way that they promoted the shows were clever, and the way that they just interacted with kids alone was genius. Nowadays, Nickelodeon has crap shows, and the fact that they're trying to fit in with today's generation by being hip with all social media stuffs and dabbing and doing online trends just to fit in, it makes me cringe. Nickelodeon hasn't been on its game in a very long time. Some of their work and content they put out is extremely sloppy. And we're not the only ones saying this. Nickelodeon stars has come out and have expressed their feelings about the network, seeing on how badly they've been treated. And with the exposure of some news articles that have reached social media the last couple of months about some shows that are being transferred from the main network to a network that claims to be the killer of all Nickelodeon shows, or at least the animated ones, we can kind of see how they deal with business when they don't have something that they find good anymore. So it's pretty safe to say that Nickelodeon hasn't been itself lately. It's been a very long time since Nickelodeon has actually made something and surprised any of us by getting us to come back to their network. That is until April 15th of last year came about, where we got introduced to a new show that shocked not just me, but probably everybody on how really good it was. A little show called The Loud House. Created by Chris Savino, The Loud House is a show that surrounds the life of a little boy named Lincoln Loud, who is the only boy and middle child of his family. Together there are 13 members of Lincoln's family. There's the mom and dad, there's him, and then you have his 10 sisters, Lori, Lenny, Luna, Lana, Lynn, Lena, Lucy, Lola, Lisa, and Lily. The show is played multiple times on Nickelodeon, kind of like SpongeBob, except it's not played 8 hours a day. I want to say maybe it's played about 5 hours, a little lower than the amount of time SpongeBob is played. And I've catched it on TV a few times. I saw the premiere episode, I saw the full week of new episodes, and I was generally surprised. I think the story is very creative, seeing that it focuses on one boy trying to deal with his sisters, specifically 10 of them. Like, this isn't just one of those sibling shows. This is a sibling show times 2, because there are a lot of siblings. Some of the episodes that I enjoy from this show that I recall seeing are definitely the first episode where he tries to make his way to the TV, so this way he could see something and has to get his sisters away from the TV so he could watch it. Another one of the episodes, which happens to be one of my favorites, is where he goes into his sister's Lisa's room and messes with an experiment she was doing with, and it basically alters all the girls' personalities. Which is another thing that this show has going for. All the sisters have different personalities. You have the smart one, you have the popular one, you have the pretty but dumb one, you have one that thinks she's a beauty queen, you have one that's a tomboy, you have one that's a girly girl, you even got a little baby girl. You got one that's into sports, you got... I think that was all of them. Oh, no, you got a goth one, you got a funny one, and yeah, I think that's all of them now. I didn't keep count. Another thing that the show has going for are the parents. Now, the show doesn't focus much on the parents, but the parents are very unique in the show because they're kind of like how Timmy Turner's mom and dad were in the Oh Yeah cartoon shorts before the Fairly Odd Parents show, because the mom and dad never reveal their faces in the show. That is until this year's Christmas special where they decided to show their face. Which isn't a bad thing. You know, I expected that they would show their faces at some point. I also wouldn't be surprised if they never showed their face, because that's just kind of how the cartoon rolled. but I kind of feel like they did it a bit too early. Like, I expected the show to go on for a little more time and then they would show their faces. But I guess it fits in with the Christmas theme because it's a special episode, and yeah, I kind of hope they don't keep the faces for the remainder of the show because that's what they had going for, but alright. So overall, I think The Loud House is a pretty good show. It's caught my attention. In fact, it got me by surprise on how really good this show was. It's actually a bit better than SpongeBob. A lot of reviewers would say the same thing because I've seen a lot of online reviews about this show, and a lot of people are considering it to be something just like what old Nickelodeon used to give us. It's got that nostalgia Nickelodeon vibe to it, which I think is pretty good, and definitely catches one's attention, especially if you're an old Nickelodeon cartoon fan. So that's what I think about The Loud House. That's my overall opinion about it. Overall, I just think it's a really good show. I'm excited to see what comes out of The Loud House in the future. Part of me feels like they're going to be introducing another sibling because, I don't know, a show that focuses on the life of a boy in a house with 10 sisters, a new baby would seem to fit in with those kind of shows. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I'd be surprised if it didn't happen. I'd be very surprised. So that's my overall opinion on this show. Now I want to hear what you guys think. Have you ever seen The Loud House? Have you ever considered giving it a try? If you've seen it, do you like it or do you not like it? And if you have seen it, would you say it's better than SpongeBob? I kind of think it is. Do you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video? Tell me in the comments and also leave me your suggestions for whatever movie, TV show, or random thing you want me to talk about next. Thanks for watching The Wild Review. I'm The Wild Reviewer and you just saw me review a thing.